in this matchup.
Well, a lot of those games have been against DRG, to be honest.
That is true. That is true. In the bottom left starting location, we have a player, an MLG finalist. His ID, excuse me, is DRG.
His idea is to take 3 bases.
In the upper right, we have our Protoss player. Very solid. Tweeted this morning that he would win the whole tournament, and looks like he has a strong chance of doing so now. His ID is Party.
All right, so it's interesting to me that this is the map choice. Well, you know, it's done through the veto system, so I guess this was the lesser of evils. But this map's going to be a little bit annoying, just slightly for DRG, because remember, he loves to take 3 bases. If Parting gets the probe out to put a pylon down at the natural, then he has a very hard time expanding anywhere because there's rocks at the 3rd base. And even if he gets his hatchery down when he wants to take that 3rd base, he has to make more Zerglings than he wants and wait for them to kill it. So this is one that's going to be hard for him to get the economic start that he's used to, that he likes.
You know, we talked a little bit about this yesterday with Grubby, where we were saying maybe just put your 3rd hatchery next to the rocks, and then eventually destroy the rocks. I mean, you can get. You're not going to be the most effective when it comes to mining,
absolutely,
but at least
you get your production. You have something there.
It just becomes a macro hatch. You make your 4th hatch the actual hatch where all the minerals are returned to.
It's a very good way to do it, and I would not be surprised if he does so. But again, it's going to be one of those annoying things. Now, I'm loving DRG's play here. He realizes that, hey, if I go pool first and this probe gets there and blocks my hatch, I'm in trouble. So he actually went ahead and went hatchery first. A build we don't see that much in this matchup, but I feel right now in this situation on this map, perfect decision by DRG.
Nexus is now on the way. And from here, we're going to see the Protoss wall himself in and start to tech up.
Well, DRG had a couple drones sitting around near his hatchery. He knows all the little tricks that you can do with cannons against a pool first user. I mean, a hatch first user, like DRG is being this game. So playing very safe and very intelligently here.
And now we got the, well, let's see here. We're still waiting to see the 3rd base.
Well, this probe, notice how he just doesn't let it get away. Because again, without a pool, this probe could have done some shenanigans with some cannons. Some shenanigans.
Now we, he's going to get it. Okay, very nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, you want to be very careful. Cannon rushes are very deadly.
Also, it's quite annoying that he lost that probe, huh? Now he has to send another one out.
Right. Looks like he might send this one out, but it's got a mineral that it's holding.
A gift for the Zerg.
I know, right?
The Trojan probe.
The Nexus is almost done now. And, yeah, it's going to be your standard PvZ so far macro game. There's a lot of different options Protoss can have. Parting's also already done a Stargate build and a DT build. And, okay, now DRG did this yesterday, remember? With the 3rd base. Putting it down there.
Oh, yeah. It's another way that you can go about it. The one thing we have to remember is that that is far away. That's really far away. So if Parting does like a 2-base timing attack, it's going to be a little bit harder to defend. If he does, let's say, a 2 Stargate opening and makes a few Void Rays, it's going to be hard to defend. But it looks like he wants to do just a single Stargate opening this time. Well, he could be going for a double one. We'll see. But
Stargate all the way in the back, upper right. He does not want to let the Overlords get close to that or see that. A huge part of StarCraft is the element of surprise. It is
awesome. He is going for double Stargate.
Okay.
And this is so smart because of the location of that 3rd base.
I have a question, Artosis.
Yes.
Let's talk theory. Should he have made the first Stargate where the 2nd Stargate actually is now? Because if the Zerg scouts it, he's going to notice the timing of it's late, and therefore there's 2 Stargates.
DRG would have to seriously be on his game to be like, wow, that's exactly 1 Stargate late. But yeah, I think you're right. I think he actually should have put the first one up front just in case it gets scouted. But you know.
Yeah.
Whatevs.
What are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you going to do? Nobody's perfect. Well, it is out of range of the Zerglings that ran up there, so he still hasn't seen it. Now, I'm loving the double Stargate play here, man. He's going to just make, you know, we'll see how many Void Rays he makes. He'll probably make more than 2. I think he's going to make 3 and go Phoenixes from there. That's like a really good number to do. And even if he has like 2 Queens and a Spore Crawler, he's gonna kill off that base, man. And it takes like 100 years for Queens to actually walk across this entire map to his 3rd base as well.
I'm curious as to how DRG is going to react to this. They are very far away, but that one base at the bottom center is pretty vulnerable.
And yes, he is in fact going for 3 Void Rays tasteless.
Do you think he should get air weapons with this?
That is a really good question, isn't it? It matters how long he wants to stay on this. Is he using double Stargate as a tool to remove this? Or is he going to stay on Stargate tech as like his strategy for the game? It's just how long does he want to do this for? So we will have to see. And, well, the 3 Void Rays, he's basically clearing the map with the first one. He's only showing units that he should have off of Stargate right now. But as basically the other Void Rays are not going to be expected. Really good move.
So he may be under, let me rephrase that. He might not have the necessary defense.
He may not.
He may undercommit.
But DRG's being so smart. He has 3 Queens and a Spore at his 3rd base. That is so smart. None of them have transfuses, though, so that's something we have to take into consideration.
All right, now it's time to reveal what he's been planning this entire game. He wants to try to avoid that Spore Crawler at all costs.
Well, he's going to have to lift up Queens. He doesn't want to take too much damage. Good micro.
Nice
Targeting down that Spore Crawler, just the right thing to do, and then he's going to have to go right after the Queens as well.
He handled this so well. I was actually sure you're supposed to avoid the Spore Crawler with this. I'm totally wrong. Now the Queen's coming in here, and the 2 Void Rays are fairly low on HP, and 1 Queen goes down.
Oh, beautiful micro by Parting. Beautiful decision-making by Parting. 2 more Queens did make the long trek across the map, and we'll see, can he actually hold? It looks like he will, Tasteless, and Parting chose an awesome strategy to try to take this out, and it has not worked. Awesomely done by DRG to actually defend this. He smelt this coming.
Yeah, he's doing a great job defending it. Nice execution there. But he's not done moving forward with this.
Still
you know, it's so funny
when
you see how much damage Void Rays can do once they get charged up.
Oh yeah, fully charged Void Rays, extremely scary. Now he does have some Hydras on the way, but these Void Rays still doing a lot of damage. Nice retargeting. DRG microing his Spore Crawlers, telling them where to attack. Doing a great job. One of the Void Rays so low on health.
Now, what he wants to do ideally is just take out the hatchery. If he takes out the hatchery, mission accomplished.
Oh my god. Right now. This is a huge counterattack by DRG. And actually, DRG is doing such a great job with these roaches. He actually will probably end up winning this game because of that. I mean, he's going to kill so much. The Phoenixes are coming back, but how many probes are going to die here? Already 13 killed.
He burrows. Oh, man. Oh, that's so smart.
That's pretty interesting.
Now the Phoenixes can't turn around.
And as soon as they do, he unburrows.
So the Phoenixes are now stuck in this part of the map where they don't want to be, which means the expansion's going to get up.
And he will go ahead and lift up a lot of these roaches. By the way, he is teching up 2 Colossus right now, the right thing to do, as DRG is going Hydras. Now, let me see. That was actually he only killed 15 probes. I actually thought he was going to get more than that, but that was a good defense by Parting. Now, DRG, 145 supplied at 92, but he's investing pretty heavily in Hydra Ling right now. If a couple Colossi get out, then that could be an issue.
Absolutely. You know, DRG now can focus on pushing his creep out and trying to develop a ground army. He did not really have a ground army before this, so this is a very difficult situation where he's going to be starting from behind. Had he gotten the hatchery and the roach counter not been so good, this game would look very different.
That's right. Now, Parting is just going to warp in as many sentries as possible because it's going to be the only way to hold these Hydras off while he tries to get a Colossus out. But he hasn't even started his Colossus, so this attack is very, very scary indeed. Don't forget, though, that there are 11 Phoenixes here. So as soon as he gets the Hydras actually engaging the actual army of Parting, he's going to lift a ton of Hydras and kill them very quickly.
All right, Parting on the edge right now.
Great
He only
defense.
has so many force fields.
That's right,
See,
his force fields are
Colossus
getting low.
has not even started yet, has it?
Yeah, he's relying on force fields right now to actually hold this. And here we go. The Phoenixes trying to go to work as quickly as they can, but DRG targeting them down, knowing that they are part of the most deadly part of this army. And he did kill them all. Now it's just Stalkers against these Hydras, with just an Immortal in the back as well.
You know, unfortunately for these Hydras, they need to have something in the front to tank. You can't have just Hydra.
Yeah.
The Hydras die so quickly if they're not. That's why normally we see, like, for instance, like Roach Hydra and a ZVZ or something. The Roaches are there. They're great at absorbing damage. I thought, you know, he was going to do a little bit better. At least he got rid of all of those Phoenixes. The Phoenix is worth much more than the Hydras.
Yes, and that was huge because he's switching to Mutas. He just killed 11 Phoenixes with that. He killed off some units too, whatever. But the point is he killed the Phoenixes, and now his Mutas are going to come out against someone going Colossus that has no cannons for anti-Muta and has no Twilight Council for Blink. So basically, Parting is about to be in a terrible spot against Mutalist Harassment. DRG playing a beautiful game. He has 4 bases. His creep spread's insane. Finally playing like the DRG that we know and love.
You know, if you look inside Parting's base, he doesn't even really have a cannon defense, right? See? Just now starting that. These Mutas are going to get there just in time.
And the Muta's microing against these Stalkers a little bit. But Parting, good zoning, putting those Stalkers down to send them away.
Do you think that he should just keep making Mutas this game? Make so many Mutas that the Protoss can't leave his base while DRG consumes the map?
Well, if Parting defends perfectly, then that can be dangerous. But, you know, the Mutalist strategy could definitely be a good one. He is getting an infestation pit, though, which tells me I think that he wants to go up into the Hive likely. But it could as well be for Infestors.
You know, Parting's defense now that he's got cannons up, pretty damn good. By the way, both players at about 300 actions per minute.
That's the nerfed one, too, and these are StarCraft 2 minutes. These guys are playing at unbelievable speeds at this moment.
I couldn't believe we saw DRG with 500 APM earlier.
Yeah, it was wild. Well, Blink is finally on the way, Parting with his quick reactions, knowing that he needs that to stop the ongoing Mutalist harassment. Now, we do have the Hive being made.
And, yeah, he's teching up. Let's see if he gets this expansion over here.
Oh, nice force fields. Really
coming out here instead to try to capture these Stalkers and Sentries. The Zerglings so great when combined with the Mutalisks.
A lot of damage being done here. The Zerglings do get in and start surrounding the Stalkers, and the Mutalist's going to fly through with them, see what damage they can get done. But good amounts of cannons going to slow down the death of probes here, while the Stalkers do try to get back.
All right, the Stalkers now coming up, trying to drive the Mutas out. It's not clear if there is enough Stalkers. DRG unsure, backs up now. And we'll regroup with some more Mutalisks very soon.
Well, right now it's 92 drones to 54 probes. Big deal right there. We have 177 supplied to 92, and DRG has taken a 5th base that he's, look at that, he's on top of it.
I feel like he's almost unstoppable at this point in time.
Yeah, it's looking so scary. And we have Psystorm starting for Parting, which is the right idea. I mean, he needs to do it, but a Greater Spire is on the way. And the Psystorm not going to be as useful against those Broodlords as these Mutas. So right now he's just going to utilize these Mutas to harass, do damage, keep the unit counts down, so that he can go into Broodlords for the ultimate Broodlord-Infestor combination and just roll through Parting.
You know, at this point in time, DRG can do what we call uneven trades. He can keep throwing units at Parting. Parting, they will exchange units, but the truth is DRG's economy is so strong that he could just keep remaking everything, while Parting is probably going to eventually be struggling to even find a 4th base.
Well, a lot of Zerglings getting in. This is bad news for him. In fact, going to lose a High Templar. Oh, that is painful. He doesn't have the gas to be throwing those away. And I mean, it's just too much damage, Tasis.
I believe this is it.
We might not even get to see Broodlords, even though that Greater Spire is almost done.
No, there's just too much of everything, Zerg. Nice storms, but just unfortunately not enough Stalkers here. trying to warp in more.
Well, those mutas very low on health. He decides that running away is smart for now. Oh no, just wants to regroup with the Zerglings.
The Protoss did not clog the entrance. So, yeah, I mean, Parting played great. He kind of won the series, but of course, ideally he'd want to win this one as well, but DRG is just too damn good.
That's right, Tasteless. The Muta's going to clean things up even though they're in the red. Parting doing his best to kill off what he can. But 8 Broodlords are on the way, so when he sees the Broodlords, he should just probably GG.
You know how some of these games, it's like an epic back and forth, and sometimes it's like watching a lion kill a zebra, and then I'm casting the lion, eating the zebra for like the next 10 minutes. So that's what this game feels like right now. As Parting is D.
Feels like Shark Week, Tasteless.
It sounds like what?
It feels like Shark Week.
Shark Week?
Well, all right. Here he comes.
Maybe he'll leave with the investors. All right. Well, this will be the killing blow, guys, because there is absolutely nothing that Parting can do about the Broodlords.
Yeah, there's 9 of them, too. I mean, that's a lot. There's a lot of infestors. And this is going to be against a measly army of 11 Stalkers, 4 Zealots, and 4 High Templars.
Okay. Watch and learn, guys.
Nice Ice
Nice,
Storm.
very, very, very nice Ice Storm. Actually melting a lot of those Mutalisks there.
Parting coming out a little bit. He's got to be careful because of the surface area the Lings can get, because of fungal growths as well.
So basically his base is being chewed up right now. Not too much you can do. Notice that the Broodlords are very spread out so that a storm cannot get them.
Well, I mean, this is the
it,
end.
guys. This is we're
he's
watching
over
a
100
nerd die
supply.
right now. That's what's going on.
Yeah. And I mean, Parting should be GGing pretty quickly here.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to lose a little clump of his Stalkers to finally admit it, but he already knows.
Okay, so the Infestor's pushing forward. He's going to go for the third base. And, you know, these Stalkers basically up against the ropes right now. A lot of fungals going down. Everything Protoss dying.
Probes coming out to fight. When you're fighting against Broodlings from Broodlords with your probes, I think you know it's time to leave.
All right, GG.
Well, I got to say, that was a stellar defense by DRG in the beginning of the game. And I was just really impressed with his play. What do you guys think?
Yeah, DRG just, you know, even though he only had 1 spore with the 3 queens and immediately building more spores, he held off that 2 Stargate. And Parting was starting, he was marking really well. He was starting to do damage. In fact, DRG actually misplaced his queens at one point and lost 3 of them a little bit later on. And Parting then had the opportunity to do a lot of drone kills with those Phoenixes. There was only 1, 2 spores, no queens. So if he had gone to the natural, he could have gone to the main. And made those Phoenixes very, very, very cost effective. Unfortunately, DRG knew this might happen. He had that counter prepared. And even though, you know, Parting dealt with it as well as he could, the Phoenixes weren't doing the damage they needed to be doing at that time.
There was a time when he had that 1 Phoenix, or that 1 Sentry, and he could have just force fielded that little area between the Forge and the Cyber Core. And the roaches couldn't have got in, but then he just like sniped it, and then from there we're like, you only had 1 sentry there.
I actually felt like, you know, obviously there was a really nice defense by DRG, but I felt like what won him the game was that roach counterattack. Because, I mean, that actually took all the flying units out of play. Like, that's it. It's like, well, these are gone for a minute and a half now, and I mean, as soon as that happens, DRG is in complete control. He has so many bases.
You know, it's so funny because when you're doing strats like that, sometimes it feels like you're juggling the Void Rays and the Phoenixes so much that sometimes your main base can be completely neglected. I mean, I was actually surprised there was even just 1 cannon there. I would have expected a little bit more, but yeah, I think you're right. The counterattack definitely won the game. What do you guys think?
It was a brilliant counterattack. That was just, I mean, picture perfect Zerg play. You know the Protoss is somewhere else. He used that speed advantage, used the fact that units are expendable. Really, really, really smart play.
It takes a lot of like confidence in yourself to be like, okay, he's putting all his gas, all his money into Stargate units. I've made some spores. He actually did a lot of damage to it. Usually you're almost like so afraid you want to wait for Hydras and save your gas for that. But he's like, no, I know I can hold it off with spores and queens. Let's make some roaches. And that's a really hard decision to make as a Zerg. So I really liked that.
Yeah, he's brave.
Yeah.
He's a brave nerd.
Yeah. Well,
StarCraft isn't for the weak of heart, right?
no,
No.
It most certainly is
Not
not.
at MLG. We don't want weak nerds.
Well, what do you guys think about just DRG's play against Protoss this weekend? He's lost to Parting and MC. Those are his 2 losses.
I think he's relying on roaches far too often. I think almost Parting going to Stargate helped DRG out because he's like, okay, maybe I shouldn't mass 40 roaches as my opening army. Whereas the rest of the games, that's what he would do, right? And and the Protosses all
so
had
funny.
such good force fields that the roaches weren't really getting the trade that he needed to get.
Yeah, I agree.
All right, well, let's take a look. Thanks, guys. Let's take a look at these match results so far from the round robin. Marine Kings still sitting pretty at 4-0. Heart, DRG, Ganji, and Violet and Parting all 2-2. That's insane.
It's a slugfest down there with Marine King on top.
Yeah, and of course, a lot of ties probably will be broken by things like that 3rd game that we just saw by DRG. And then we see Huck and MC at the bottom, 1-3 each. As this is moving forward and everyone's played 4 games at this point, I want to hear everyone's predictions that's sitting here right now. Who are the bottom 2 that are going out? Is it MC and Huck? They're at the bottom right now, but, I mean, they had some hard opponents as well.
You guys go first. Go ahead.
I actually think MC's going to fight back. Maybe this is just watching his first series versus DRG. That was just, he's on form. I've seen him lose some games. I saw him lose games versus Heart, and the things weren't working out for him. But I could tell he wasn't getting flustered. He was still calm. He was still confident. I think he may not be the shining star of the tournament, but he's definitely going to get past the group stage. Huck, this last couple of games, he seemed to be a little bit impatient, a little bit trying to, just get a win in early. He wasn't very confident in his late game. So I'm not sure if he'll be able to make it out.
Yeah, I think 2 will probably be Huck, and one of either. It's weird. I feel like despite DRG still being 2-2, maybe DRG being out. Just because of a feeling, I think.
Look at this guy with strong predictions.
That's a brave statement. I have a feeling that Huck, I think you're probably going to agree with me as well. Just when I'm watching his games, I've not seen a lot of variety. It seems like people have figured him out, and I think he's being a bit impatient. I have a feeling that MC will lose. I don't know why. I think I saw him play so well, but the fact that he's actually people are beating him in his other games surprises me. But we've seen such good play down here overall. MC, maybe Violet though. I don't know.
I actually think Violet's going to make it top 6.
Think so?
And I think between Huck and MC, they haven't actually played yet. So I think actually the loser of that is going to be the Protoss that hits the bottom 2.
That's actually a great way to put it.
Yeah. So I think whoever wins that, I think he's going to make top 6. The other one's going to fall. And I just have this feeling that like one of these Terrans might bomb out.
Do you think it's going to be the loser of Heart and Ganchi?
Yeah, I would say so.
So those are the.
All right, guys. We're going to have more round robin coming up. DRG versus Heart is next. This is the MLG Spring Arena, and we'll be back soon.